Hi friends, it's Mrs. Mills here again with another read aloud. This week we're reading another version of The Three Little Pigs. As you can see, it's the three little fish and the big bad, can you guess who? That's right, the big bad shark. Now, hopefully you had a chance to read and listen and chat about the three little pigs and the three little aliens and the big bad robot. So while we're reading this story, I want you to think about the things you know already from the first two stories. Think about the characters you'd expect to see. What types of houses might little fish build instead? And what do you think could happen to the big bad shark at the end of this story? How might it be like the big bad wolf or the big bad robot? What could happen in The Three Little Fish and the Big Bad Shark? This story is written by Ken Geist and Julia Gorton. Where would you expect the story The Three Little Fish and the Big Bad Shark to take place? This story is not happening in outer space like the three little aliens, but it makes sense to be under the sea. But I just noticed Julia Gorton is the illustrator. On the cover, it just listed her name. On the title page, it tells us Ken Geist wrote the words and Julia Gorton is the illustrator. She drew the pictures. Once upon a time, there lived a mama fish and her three little fish, Jim, Tim, and Kim. Do you hear those rhyming words? Jim, Tim, and Kim. It is now time, said the mama, for each of you to make a home in the deep blue sea. So off they went. The first little fish named Jim swam away and met a seahorse playing in some seaweed. Can I have some of the seaweed so I can build a house? Asked Jim. Take as much as you can carry, said the seahorse. So Jim gathered the seaweed and made a weedy little house. Jim had just finished building his seaweed house when he heard the big bad shark knocking at the door. Little fish, let me come in. The little fish trembled and replied, Not by the skin of my finny fin. Then I'll munch and I'll crunch and I'll smash your house in, roared the shark. Can he do it? So the big bad shark munched and he crunched and he ate up every bit of the seaweed house, and Jim swam away just in time. Soon Jim found his brother. Don't worry, Jim. We fish can stick together, said Tim. You can help me build a sandy little house instead. What do you know about sand castles? Are they strong houses? Jim and Tim had just started to relax in the sandy little house when the big bad shark came knocking at the door. Little fish, let me come in, said the big bad shark. To which the brave little fish replied, No, not by the skin of our finny fins. Then I'll munch and I'll crunch and I'll smash your house in, roared the shark. So the big bad shark munched and he crunched until he got a sandy mouthful and the house crumbled. Jim and Tim swam and swam. Where do you think they could be going? Until they reached their sister Kim. Kim was setting up her house in an old wooden ship. Interesting. The big bad shark destroyed our houses, said Jim and Tim. Don't worry, said Kim. You can live with me. And so they did. The three little fish had just finished lunch when they heard, the big bad shark knocking at their door. Little fish, let me come in, said the big bad shark, to which the smart fish replied, no, not by the skin of our fins. Do you know what the shark said? Say it with me. Then I'll munch and I'll crunch and I'll smash your house in, roared the shark. Will he do it this time? But the big bad shark munched and he crunched and he could not smash the house in, and all of his teeth fell out. Oh no! The three little fish were safe at last, and it looks like the shark is left with seaweed. The end. I hope you enjoyed the three little fish and the big bad shark. There's lots to chat about in this story. How is it the same as the three little pig stories we've read so far? And how is it different? I have a couple more coming up, so stay tuned and I'll see you later. Thanks for reading. Happy chatting.